Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to welcome you to County Court Law number 2. My name is Judge Terrence Holmes. I'm the presiding judge here in County Court Law number 2 of Jefferson County, Texas. This morning we have an announcement docket. So when I call your name, please come forward with your attorney. If your attorney is not here, then we will wait for your attorney to arrive. If you're representing yourself or if you do not have an attorney, when I call your name, please come before the bench by yourself. Attorney Gresson, the translator, she'll be here in a few minutes.
All right, sir. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Where are the other prosecutors? First case is cause number 24CCCR 2214, case of Style State of Texas versus Delena Candace Bennett. Ms. Bennett, would you please come forward? Good morning. So is Miss Hubel? Okay, this is cause number 24CCCR 2214, case of Style State of Texas versus Delena Candace Bennett. Ms. Bennett, how are you doing? Okay, that's good. Now, Ms. Bennett, you're representing your case by your attorney Sean Villery Samuel. Attorney Villery Samuel, how are you doing?
Doing well, Judge, and yourself?
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. State is represented in this case by attorney Andrew Hubel. Attorney Hubel, how are you doing?
Doing well, Judge. Thank you.
That's good. Now, I think since the last time we've had this case, I realized that I know Miss Bennett. I think her husband is my fraternity brother. Is that correct? Okay.
Ex-husband, to be clear.
Ex-husband? Okay, it's my fraternity brother. Now, Ms. Bennett, you and I have never talked about this case, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And, well, we know each other just from, I guess,
In passing.
in passing social acquaintances. State, if you think that there may be a conflict of interest or if there's an appearance of impropriety, the court is willing to recuse itself. You have any objections to this? To
State
me
does not view that as necessary in this case of life's conflict.
and defense? Do you have any objections to me presiding over this case?
None at all. We don't believe that it's necessary. You being Judge.
Okay, so now, Mr. Villery Samuel, what is your announcement in this case?
We would like to put this on a trial docket, Judge.
Trial docket?
Yes, sir.
Okay, give us the trial date.
March 31st.
Okay, this case will be reset for trial March 31st, 2025. Bennett, you're gonna get your reset from our court coordinator. Once you get your reset, you're free to go and you have a blessed day.
You too, Judge.
And Attorney Villery Samuel, you'll be free to go as well once you get your reset and you have a blessed day as well.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Is there?
Oh.
Translate for that one? Yes.
That's the translator. Just, you can meet with them. I think they need you.
Oh.
Let's do this here, Miss
Because
Araji. This is cause number 24 CCCR 1426, case of style of state of Texas versus Sydney Monet Edwards. Ms. Edwards, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How are you doing, Ms. Edwards?
I'm doing fine. How about yourself?
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Ms. Edwards, you're represented in your case by Attorney Theodore Jones. Attorney Jones, how are you doing?
I'm all right, too.
That's good. And the state is represented in this case by Attorney Haley Simmons. Attorney Simmons, how are you doing?
I'm great, Judge, thank you.
Mr. Jones, what is your announcement in Ms. Edwards' case?
Can I reserve, make an announcement for about an hour, 30 minutes, 40 minutes?
Okay, so we just hold.
Yeah, would you please put it on hold?
Okay, okay,
And,
we'll just hold.
We'll revisit.
Okay,
Okay, thank you.
y'all can have a seat. All right. Mr. Lane, you taking care of your cases this morning?
And I have a plea for the.
Okay. Ms. Provo, what are you doing in your case?
I'm waiting for my client to appear on at this time.
Okay. Is that Devin Abel Roll? Okay, Mr. Roll, could you please come forward? This thing just catch fire. Mr. Roll, your full name is Devin Abel Roll.
Yes,
How you doing, Mr. Roll?
good, good.
That's good. Now, Mr. Roll, you appeared in court on January the 7th.
Yeah,
And at that time, stated you wanted your case reset to give you time to hire an attorney. Is that correct?
yes.
Have you hired an attorney?
No, that's what I want to talk to you because I wait for some money coming in. So for paying to the Turner, I got to deal with him already, but I probably
So you've already talked to an attorney,
yes,
that's what you're saying?
so
But you need to pay his retainer fee?
yes. Yeah, because I don't have the money for paying.
Okay, how
Okay.
much time do you need?
1 or 2 months if you can.
Well, we'll give you 30 days.
Okay. Yeah, that's good.
Okay, let's reset his case, 30 days, give him an opportunity to hire his attorney.
Thank you.
Okay, case will be reset to March 19th. You're gonna get your reset from our coordinator. Once you get your reset from the coordinator, you're free to go. You have a blessed day.
Thank you.
You're welcome. He's the last person on the docket, Devin Ro. Devin Abel Ro. Joshua Holloway. Mr. Holloway. Your full name is Joshua Holloway.
Yes, sir.
How are you doing, Mr. Holloway?
Doing all right.
That's good. And Mr. Holloway, last time that you was here, which was January the 7th of 2025. At that time, you stated you wanted, you signed a waiver, you want to waive your rights and attorney represent yourself, is that correct? And let's see, Mr. Hillable,
Yes, Your Honor.
know why his case was reset from that court date?
I believe I was absent from the previous court date, Your Honor, and just left the notes for the other prosecutors that needed to speak with the complaining witness, and there's no
Oh.
at this time.
Okay, so you needed to speak to the complaining witness?
Yeah.
So do you still need to speak to the complaining witness?
That's correct. And I can see if I can get her on the phone this morning.
Okay, just have a seat. We'll call you back up. Was that John Oquin? I was looking at your name and I was debating whether to say Oquin or Ocoin. How did you pronounce it?
It's O'Quinn. I mean, if you want to do the French, it comes out more like Aquin,
Aqua?
Aquin. It's too hard. Just O'Quinn,
Okay.
O'Quinn works.
Okay, okay. Well, how you doing, Mr.
Not,
Oquin?
not too bad.
Oh.
I wasn't able to obtain a lawyer.
Okay,
I did try. I made some phone calls, but I wasn't able. I did
Oh, done, but you have any too.
oh, okay,
yes, sir.
You gonna make copies?
yes. Thank you. Now, are you telling the court that you are unable to afford an attorney? And so you want to see whether or not you qualify for court-appointed attorneys? That's what you're saying?
I probably make too much. I
Well, what we can do, I mean, if you wanna do that, you would have to fill out a financial questionnaire so that the proper person can determine whether or not you qualify for a court-appointed attorney.
maybe I ought to just represent myself.
Okay. Now, if you would like to do that, you would have to, we're gonna give you the document that we gave you the first time that's titled Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendants Without an Attorney. You will read and sign that document if you want to represent yourself. At the bottom of that document, I guess the last two paragraphs states that, well, the last three paragraphs, the last paragraph states that if you would like to represent yourself, you'll have an opportunity to talk to one of the prosecutors, assistant criminal district attorneys that's in court. You cannot talk to one of the prosecutors unless you first sign a written waiver of your right to be represented by an attorney. Now, we have a form that is titled Waiver of Counsel for Purposes of Entering a Guilty Plea or Proceeding to Trial. That is the written waiver. Okay. Now, you should be aware that there are dangers and disadvantages of self-representation. Waiving your right to an attorney and representing yourself may result in a worse outcome for you and your case, including the loss of significant rights and opportunities relating to military service. Okay. Relating to military service, possession of firearm, housing and public benefits, child custody, immigration status for non-citizens, and employment. Now, if you choose to waive your right to an attorney. You may change your mind at any time and request that an attorney be appointed to represent you. Do you understand that? Now, does he have the
Yes.
judge's explanation? That's the first document that I went over. Okay.
Yes.
Now, you know, at the top of that document, I'll just go over it again. At the top of the document, it states that as a defendant in a criminal case, you have three options. Number one, you may hire an attorney. Number two, if you would like to have an attorney and you cannot afford to hire an attorney, you may request that an attorney be appointed to represent you. Or number three, you may represent yourself. Now, if you would like an attorney to represent you, you have enough money to hire an attorney, your case will be reset to give you time to hire an attorney. And we did that the last time.
Yes, sir.
Now,
I did try.
yes, second paragraph states that if you like to have an attorney to represent you, but you do not have enough money to hire an attorney, you may request that an attorney be appointed to represent you. But you must first fill out a financial questionnaire. Now, the financial
That's
questionnaire,
something I have trouble filling that.
if you need help, we have our poor personnel here. I'll help, you know, we'll help you to fill that document out. Note, okay? Now, basically, on that document, which is titled Jefferson County Affidavit of Indigence, you would have to fill out the first page of the document. And then on the second page at the top, it says defendant's oath. You have to fill out that top portion. And then in the middle of that document, on the second page, it states unsworn declaration of defendant. You would have to fill that portion out too. And basically what it asks for is your information, your name, address, and that type of
So that's
information.
this one.
Hmm?
That's this one.
Is that it?
I'm not sure.
The Jefferson County Affidavit of
Financial.
Indigence.
Yes,
Now, does it, what page is he looking at?
the
The
financial,
first page or the second
the
page?
second.
Okay, yes, the second page. Now, you would have to fill out those two documents. Now, if you go back to the first document, judge's explanation of rights to defendants without an attorney, and as I mentioned to you earlier, if, I think in the third paragraph, you may represent yourself, but you cannot talk to the prosecutors unless you first sign a written waiver of your right to be represented by an attorney. Now, the written waiver is another document on that clipboard, and it's titled Waiver of Counsel for Purposes of Entering a Guilty Plea or Proceeding to Trial. You will have to read and sign that page, that first page, and then you'll sign and date it. Okay, now if we go back to the first document, and you'll see a full paragraph near the bottom, it's the second to the last paragraph. It said you should be aware that there are dangers and disadvantages of self-representation. Waiving your right to an attorney and representing yourself may result in a worse outcome for you, including your case, including the loss of significant rights and opportunities relating to military service, possession of a firearm, housing and public benefits, child custody, immigration status for non-citizens, and employment. Now, the last paragraph, before where you see judge's signature, that last paragraph that's right above that states that if you decide to change your mind, okay, you will represent yourself, but you decide to change your mind, then you may request that an attorney be appointed to represent you. Now, at the bottom of that document in bold letters, it says defendant's choice. Mark initials next to only one choice. If your choice is to hire your own attorney, you place your initials on the first line to the left. If you like a court-appointed attorney, you'll place your initials on the third line to the left. If you like to represent yourself, you'll place your initials on the fifth line to the left. Now, once you finish making your choice, initialing one of the lines, then you will sign your name on the line that is titled defendant, and you will date it today's date, February the 19th. Do you understand? Okay. Okay, so. Okay. So you initialed and signed that you like to apply for court appointed attorney, is that correct?
Yeah.
Now, do you need some assistance with the affidavit of indigence? That's the document that you have before you, Jefferson County Affidavit of Indigence. You need help filling it out?
Yes, a bit, yes.
Okay. Just, we're gonna do. Maybe you could have this.
Some of it.
Okay, you say some of it fill out? Okay, fill out, have a seat at that table. Fill out what you can, and whatever you can't fill out, then we'll help you with the rest.
Right.
Wait to see the process.
Is there a volume on this?
Talk to him and ask. Can
Okay,
he hear me?
everyone that's on Zoom, please put your mic on mute.
On
When we
mute?
call you. All right, thank you. Okay, Jefferson County Court at law number 2 is back in session. The court is in session. And calls number 24 CCCR 2340. Case of style of state of Texas versus Haley Schomeyer. Ms. Schomeyer is appearing via Zoom. Ms. Schomeyer, you can take your mic off of mute. Okay, Ms. Schomeyer, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Ms. Schomeyer, you're represented in your case by your attorney, Attorney Marva Provo. Attorney Provo, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine, Your Honor.
And the state is represented in this case by Attorney Andrew Hugh. And Ms. Provo, what is your announcement in Ms. Schomeyer's case?
Your Honor, I would like to change this case for another announcement. I just completed the study, so I need to just go over within the office.
Okay, can you give us a reset date? Okay, this case will be reset for April 2nd of 2025. Ms. Schomeyer, stay in contact with your attorney, your bondsman, and they will be given notice of your reset. Your case is reset to April 2nd, 2025 at 9 a.m. You're free to go, and you have a blessed day.
You too. Thank you so much.
Okay,
Maybe I'll be free.
yes, you can get your reset and you'll be free to go as well.
You need to leave it. Oh, leave.
Councilman Nelson?
Good morning, Judge. This is Dustin Gilmore. I'm here whenever the court's
Yes.
ready. I have Mr. Belliard.
Okay, okay, next case. Number 24 CCCR 1682. Case is style of state of Texas versus William Vallon. Mr. Vallon is appearing via Zoom. Mr. Vallon, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, Your Honor. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking, Ms. Vallon. You're represented by your attorney Dustin Galmore, who's also appearing via Zoom. Mr. Galmore, how are you doing?
I'm great today, Judge. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Galmore, what is your announcement in Mr. Vallon's case?
Judge, we'd like to set that on the trial docket.
Okay, give us a reset date for trial. Okay, this case will be reset to March 31st of 2025 for trial. Mr. Galmore, your reset will be sent to you. And Mr. Vallon, stay in contact with your attorney, your bondsman. They will be giving notice of your reset. Mr. Vallon, you're free to go.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And you have a blessed day.
You as well.
And Mr. Galmore, these are your only two cases. You're free to go as well, and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, Judge. You have a great day.
All right, thank you.
Sorry about that.
Carlos Jose,
Yes, good morning.
good morning. Mr. Jose, you are represented in your case by your attorney Jared Gilthorpe. Attorney Gilthorpe, how are you doing?
Doing well, Judge. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Gilthorpe, I see that at one time your client was supposed to sign up for pretrial diversion. Is that correct?
That is correct, Judge. He was on the list for pretrial diversion. They've since retracted that offer of pretrial diversion. And then they also his case that was in Judge Stevens' court, they refiled it into your court. And so it shows now that he has an active warrant, that he has two cases in your court now.
He does? Oh yeah, well he was supposed to be here in person then. I didn't know that.
Judge, but that it's a refile, and so I'm asking if the court can recall that warrant since he's already bonded out off on that case.
Well, I'm
and
never
Mr.
gonna
Ham
recall a
refiled
warrant.
it. I'm sorry?
I'm not gonna recall a warrant.
Well, the reason I'm asking is he's already bonded out under that case.
Oh, well, it was a felony case, now it's a misdemeanor.
Right, but under the same facts, circumstances, and accusations.
Okay. But he has a warrant out on this case for this new filing.
Right, I understand, and that's why I'm asking if that warrant could be recalled, but since it was that was not the intention to send out a new warrant on him when the case was refiled.
If it wasn't their intention, they wouldn't have sent it out.
Well,
the DA's office, I guess that's who you talk to. They're the ones who refiled the case, and they're the ones who issued the warrant.
Well, no, the DA's office can't issue warrants.
I mean, it came out of the clerk's office, but yeah, but the court is not going to recall a warrant.
But could we substitute a bond substitution, Judge?
Yeah, well, I don't have nothing before me. I don't have a motion before me. I can't tell you how to practice, but I don't have anything before me. You can't do it early.
Okay, Judge, I'll file a motion to substitute that bond.
Okay. Yeah, but that case is not even on the docket, is it? Yeah. What's the Yeah, that new case is not, wasn't even on the docket today.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. So we're gonna reset this,
Both cases are on the docket for me, Judge. I've got the DWI as well as the Plea.
it's on the back. Oh, it's in the back, okay. Okay, that's a fleeing police officer. Okay. Yeah, it says active warrant.
Yeah, Judge, I'll put a motion in writing and get it filed as soon as I can.
Okay, well. So what we wanna do with the, state what you wanna do with the,
I need to discuss with 88 Andrew Hubel. It's his case, so I need to speak with him before I make any decision, Your Honor.
okay. Well, let's hold on it for right now. We're gonna come back to it. They need to speak to the prosecutor on this case. Okay, we're gonna come back to it, Mr. Gilthorpe.
Thank you.
Okay.
There's no prosecutors in here right now, Judge. Do you mind if I step out and discuss with Andrew?
Yeah, that's fine. Mr. Gilthorpe?
Yes, Judge.
Yeah, the prosecutor is back on Mr. Jose's cases.
So what's the situation?
He has he has two cases. The first case is the original case that we had on the docket.
Right.
At one time, he had applied for pretrial diversion, was approved, but then they retracted
Because of the.
because of, I guess, because of the new offense.
Well, they thought they had a new offense, but there was no new offense. It was a refiling of the original offense. So,
No, listen to what I'm saying. You had a driving while intoxicated case, right?
correct, and he was approved for pretrial
For
diversion.
that case, I understand that.
And he had
But he has a fleeing case.
correct,
Which is not the same as a DWI.
correct, but he
That's
was,
a different case. That's
No,
what
no.
I'm talking about.
I
That was the
understand.
case. I know it was a case that was a felony case that was reduced down to a misdemeanor.
Right, but it was not a new case because they were all out of one incident. And so when he was,
No, what I'm saying, they're two different cases. Maybe I should have said that. The DWI and the fleeing.
correct, and when he was allowed into pretrial diversion, they booted him or retracted their offer because when the felony case got refiled, they thought he got picked up on a new case, which he
Okay.
did not get picked up on a new case.
So
It
he
was-
had two cases that was at. Let me ask you this, did they file the second case after, well, did they file the fleeing after they filed the DWI?
Yes,
Okay. So when they found out he had two cases, they retracted their offer.
no, they knew he had two cases. They knew he had an evading with motor vehicle, and they knew he had a DWI. They approved him for pretrial diversion for DWI, and they agreed to reduce the felony case. When the felony case was reduced, they refiled that case, and when the refiling came through, probation department thought he had picked up a new case, and probation department is who runs pretrial diversion. They thought he had picked up an entirely separate event, a new event case.
Okay.
So then they retracted his offer of pretrial diversion. And so I'm working on clarifying all that with Pat to see if pretrial diversion is still going to be eligible. Because all the original two cases were fully disclosed in his pretrial diversion application. They were fully aware that he had two cases when he was accepted into pretrial diversion.
Do you recall who you had the agreement for the reduction with?
Yes, it's with Jimmy Ham.
Okay. And that was, and that was contemplating him also having pretrial on the GWI?
That is correct. That is correct. And it was on his pretrial diversion application. It was clearly indicated that he, at the time of his application, that he had two pending cases, one in criminal district court with Judge Stevens for evading arrest with motor vehicle and a DWI. And so, Judge, at this time, I would just ask for a little more time. I'll get a motion into you to substitute that bond. Substitution as bond is something we do all the time over in felony court. It's standard procedure over there. I can put it in writing. That's not an issue. And then I'd also request time to get with Pat Knauth to see if we can resolve the pretrial diversion issue.
State,
Given the facts surrounding this case, I don't really have an issue given because
the
he's already,
reset,
right. He's already made on the felony case, which is essentially the same allegations in this case. So
Okay.
it only seems right that he's given the opportunity to substitute that bond.
okay, well, court doesn't have a motion before it at this time.
Right.
Okay, so, let's see. We get a standard reset. Would that be enough time for you to get your motion and to talk to Pat Knauth?
Yes, Judge, that'll be fine. Thank you.
Okay, give us a reset date.
I have a second.
Okay, this case will be reset to April 2nd, 2025 at 9 a.m. And Mr. Gilthorpe, you'll be given notice of your reset. And Mr. Jose, stay in contact with the attorney. You're free to go. You have a blessed day. And
Thank you.
Mr. Gilthorpe, you're free to go as well, and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay. Ivan Eduardo Diaz.
Morning, Judge.
Morning.
Here for the defendant.
Okay. Court is in session and calls number 24 CCC Aura 2722. Case is style the state of Texas versus Ivan Eduardo Diaz. Mr. Diaz, is that your full name?
Yes.
Mr. Diaz, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Diaz, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Mr. Diaz, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Diaz?
Pretty good.
And Mr. Diaz, you represent you in your case by attorney Enio J. Diaz.
That is correct.
How are you doing, Attorney Diaz? And Attorney Diaz, do you waive a record in Mr. Ivan Diaz's case?
We do.
It has lesser included, but there's nothing in
No, no,
in the line. Oh. So it's not,
No, Your Honor.
It's not.
It's a straight probation.
yeah, it's not on here. It's not on the, normally she writes something on the side.
Okay, on the second page of that, it's not you did the offer.
Well, this is.
It is a
the
DW
first,
first,
but it's
but it's straight
with a
probation.
alcohol concentration, blood alcohol concentration level 0.15 or more. That's still a first, but it's a enhanced first.
So we're not, because I don't put the.
No, unless if they do, if they say they waive an enhancement paragraph. Yeah. Okay. Now, Mr. Diaz, you are waiving a record in this case, is that correct?
That is correct, Your Honor.
Okay. Now, Mr. Ivan Diaz, I have before me on my computer a document that is titled Information. This information was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information, it alleges that you, Ivan Eduardo Diaz, on or about July 30th of 2024, while you were operating a motor vehicle in a public place in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated with a blood alcohol concentration level of 0.15 or more. Mr. Diaz, do you understand what you have been charged with?
Yes.
And to this charge, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? Now, are you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges? Okay. Now, this here has to be, you have the DWI first box check, it has to be, you could erase that and check off the Class A. It's a Class A misdemeanor. The box that's checked.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Now, Mr. Ivan Diaz, I have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments. Do you recognize this document?
Yes.
Now, there's one box that's checked. The box that's checked states that this is a Class A misdemeanor, and the range of punishment for a Class A misdemeanor is minimum 0 days to maximum of 365 days in the Jefferson County Jail, or a fine that does not exceed $4,000, or you could be given both such fine and confinement. That's the range of punishment for a Class A misdemeanor. Do you understand that?
Yes.
On page 2 of the same document, there's a set of initials on a line next to a box that's checked no contendere, which means no contest. Did you place your initials on this document?
Yes.
On page 3 of this same document, there is a signature above the line that is titled Defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
On the next document that's titled Trial Court Certification, of the defendant's right of appeal. Do you recognize this document?
Yes,
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant? At the top of this document, there's one box checked. The box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement?
yes, sir.
I also have a document on paper that is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document?
Yes,
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Diaz, before you signed and initialed all of these documents that I just showed you, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand everything that your attorney went over?
Yes, sir.
Is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Correct.
Mr. Diaz, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, sir.
State for states one.
Do you have any objections to State's Exhibit number 1?
No.
No objections. State's Exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Attorney Diaz, you have advised and counseled Mr. Diaz. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
And Mr. Diaz, you've been represented by your attorney, Attorney Diaz, who's advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Diaz, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. Say, do we have a plea bargain agreement? And what is the agreement?
In exchange for defendant's plea, the state's offering 180 days, probated over 15 months, $750 fine, 80 hours community service, interlock, and DWI first standard conditions of probation.
What is this court cost? How much?
$392.
$392.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Ivan Diaz, the state is offering that you serve 180 days in Jefferson County Jail. However, you would not be required to serve any time in the Jefferson County Jail because you'll be placed on probation for a period of 15 months. During the 15-month probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $750, plus court costs of $392. You'll also be required to pay a DWI conviction fine of $100, the probation fee of $60 a month, urinalysis fee of $15 a month, reimbursement fee of $15. You will also be required to pay Jefferson County DWI education and initial evaluation fee of $125 on the day of the plea. Should a further evaluation be needed, you'll be required to pay an additional $50. Now, your total monthly installments, that is the total amount that you will be required to pay each month, is $170 a month. Will you be able to pay the $170 a month?
Yes.
You also be required to perform 80 hours of community service, install an interlock device on any vehicle that you own and operate, attend and completed the DWI education class, have an alcohol assessment, and adhere to the other standard terms of DWI probation. Now, Mr. Ivan Diaz, do you understand the state's offer? Do you think the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes.
Do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Ivan Diaz, I will follow the plea bargaining agreement that you have entered into with the state. Are you ready for it? Okay, so Mr. Ivan Diaz, you're gonna stand in front of the court coordinator, follow the directions of the bailiff, and once you finish following the directions of the bailiff, you'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day. And Attorney Diaz, you'll be free to go as well, and you have a blessed
Thank you,
day.
Judge.
Okay. Oh. 76. That's 76. That's Espinosa. Yes. Yes.
Please have a seat. I'll take that.
Jacinto Espinosa Morz.
We're ready, Your Honor.
Morning.
Good morning. Court is in session in two cases, clause numbers 24 CCCR 2077 and clause number 24 CCCR 2076. Both cases are styled State of Texas versus Jacinto Espinosa Morz. Mr. Espinosa Morz, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Espinosa Morz, would you please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you may put your hand down. How are you doing?
Pretty good about yourself.
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Now, Mr. Espinosa Morz, you representing your case by your attorney, Attorney Kevin Lane. Attorney Lane, how are you doing?
Fine, thank you.
And Mr. Lane, do you waive a record in Mr. Espinosa Morz case?
We do, Your Honor.
Mr. Espinosa Morz, in cause number 24 CCCR 2076, I have before me a document that is titled Information. This information was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information, Mr. Espinosa Morz, it alleges that you, Jacinto Espinosa Morz, on or about February 26th of 2024, while you operating a motor vehicle in a public place in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed to Class A misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated with alcohol concentration level of 0.15 or more. State, are you abandoning the enhancement paragraph?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Now, Mr. Espinosa Morz, the state is abandoning the enhancement paragraph, and what that means is instead of being charged with a Class A misdemeanor DWI, you will be charged with a lesser included offense of Class B misdemeanor DWI. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Now, to the Class B misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated, which allegedly occurred on or about February 26th of 2024 while you operated a motor vehicle in a public place in Jefferson County, Texas, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
Now, are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Freely.
And are you pleading guilty because you are guilty? And are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Espinosa Morz, I also have before me a document on this tablet that's titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishment. This document is also labeled as State's Exhibit Number 1. Do you recognize this document?
Sir.
On page 2 of this same document, there are 2 sets of initials. One set is your attorney's initial, KSL. Then the second set of initials, JE. Are your initials? Did you place your initials on this document?
Yes, sir, I did.
On page 3 of the same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled Defendant. Is this your signature? And on the next document that's titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal, you recognize this document. And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant? At the top of this document, there are 2 boxes checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case, and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes, sir.
The second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that statement? I also have a document that is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document? And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant? Okay, Mr. Espinosa Morz, before you sign and initial these documents, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand everything that your attorney went over?
Yes.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge? Mr. Espinosa Morz, are you a citizen of the United States?
Remember.
Okay. What country are you from?
Actual.
Mexico. Now, Mr. Espinosa Morz, I have a document here that I'm going to give to your attorney, and your attorney is going to give this document to you. This document is titled English Statement Number 1 for all foreign nationals except those from mandatory notification countries, and it states that as a non-U.S. citizen who is being arrested or detained, you may request that we notify your country's consular officers here in the United States of your situation. You may also communicate with your consular officers. A consular officer may be able to help you obtain legal representation and may contact your family and visit you in detention, among other things. If you want us to notify your consular officers, you can request this notification now or at any time in the future. And then the last statement states, do you want us to notify your consular officer at this time? And you could either say yes, no, and then you can print it, your name here, sign it, and your attorney can witness it. We'll give you your attorney some time to go over that with you.
And we've discussed this, Your Honor. Do you wish to notify your consul from Mexico? That's up to you. I'm not an immigration.
Well, I'm not,
Let's see, without any. Oh, now, Mr. Espinosa Morz, do you recognize this document? And is this your signature on the line that's titled signature? Now, before you sign this document, was this document explained to you? And did you understand everything in this document? And is everything in this document true and correct to the best of your knowledge? And you circle no, oh,
I
you didn't
just got a
circle,
circle.
it's not circle. Okay, and so you circle no to the statement that said, do you want us to notify your council officer at this time? Is that correct? Okay, now going back to state's exhibit number 1, that's it's titled misdemeanor plea admonishment. On page 1, the last paragraph is titled citizenship. And this paragraph states that if you're not a U.S. citizen on a plea of guilty and on a contingent, it may result in your deportation, exclusion from admission to this country, or denial of naturalization under federal law. Do you understand that? Okay. And do you still want to go forward with your plea bargain today? Okay. Have him the initial below that paragraph, showing that he understands. Oh. Now, let's see. Mr. Espinosa Morz, before you signed and initialed all of these documents that I showed you, did we do discovery certification?
It's somewhere, Your Honor.
Mayor.
Espinosa Morz? Oh, here it is.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, Mr. Espinosa Morz, before you signed and initialed all of the documents that I showed you, did your attorney go over these documents with you? And did you understand everything that your attorney went over? And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
Okay. And state, you offer state's exhibit 1?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Any objections?
No objection.
No objections. State's exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Lane, you advised in counsel, Mr. Espinosa Morz. Is there any evidence that he's currently mentally incompetent to
No, Your
stand
Honor.
trial?
No, Your Honor.
And Mr. Lane, did you advise Mr. Espinosa Morz the consequences of him pleading guilty no contest by virtue of him not being a citizen of the United States, and that's pursuant to the case of Padilla versus Kentucky?
To the best of my ability.
Okay. And Mr. Espinosa Morz, your attorney, Mr. Lane, has advised in counsel to you satisfied with his representation?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Espinosa Morz, I will accept your plea as guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
And what's the agreement?
The agreement in this case is to 2 years deferred probation with $1,000 fine, 60 hours community service, the installation and maintaining of the neurolock device, the DWI series conditions of probation. The companion UCW case will be dismissed for forfeiture to the Fort Nations Police Department.
What is this court cost? 392. Okay. Mr. Espinosa Morz, the state is offering that you serve 2 years deferred adjudicated probation. During the 2-year probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $1,000 plus court costs of $392. You'll be required to pay DWI conviction fine of $100, probation fee of $60 a month, urinalysis fee of $15 a month, reimbursement fee of $15. You'll also be required to pay Jefferson County DWI education and initial evaluation fee of $125 on the day of the plea. Should a further evaluation be needed, you'll be required to pay an additional $50. Your total monthly installments, that is the total amount that you will be required to pay each month, is $144 a month. Will you be able to pay the $144 each month?
Yes, sir.
You will also be required to perform 60 hours of community service, install an interlock device on any vehicle that you own or operate, attend and complete a DWI education class, have an alcohol assessment. You will also be required to, attend it. You will also be required to adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of this probation. And as part of this plea bargaining agreement, the state will be dismissing clause number 24 CCCR 2077 for forfeiture of the weapon in that case to the Port Neches Police Department. And I have before me a document that is titled Motion to Forfeit that Weapon to the Port Neches Police Department. Mr. Espinosa Morz, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes.
Now, before you signed this document, did your attorney go over this document with you?
Yes, I did.
Did you understand everything that your attorney went over?
Yes.
And is everything in this document true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Espinosa Morz, I will accept this motion to forfeit, and I'll grant this motion to forfeit the weapon to the Port Neches Police Department. Now, Mr. Espinosa Morz, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes.
Do you think that the state's offer in this case is fair and just?
Yes.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes.
Mr. Espinosa Morz, I'll follow the plea bargaining agreement that you have entered into with the state. Now, Mr. Espinosa Morz, if you successfully complete this probationary period, this case will be dismissed. It will not result in a conviction on your record, and you may qualify for a non-disclosure. You can talk to your attorney about the non-disclosure because he's quite competent in those matters. Mr. Espinosa Morz, you're going to stand in front of the coordinator, follow the directions of the bailiff. Once you finish following her directions, you'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day.
You too.
And thank you. And Mr. Lane, these are your only 2 cases. You're free to go as well, and you have a blessed day.
Thanks, Your Honor.
Mr. Oakland?
You know, you want to go ahead and do that.
Yes, sir.
Okay, this is cause number M333022. Case is styled the state of Texas versus John O'Quinn. And Mr. O'Quinn, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. O'Quinn, do you swear affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Mr. O'Quinn, you may put your hand down. Now, Mr. O'Quinn, I have before me 2 documents. The first document is titled Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendant's File Attorney. Do you recognize this document?
Yes.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant? And are these your initials on the line that state you like to apply for court appointed attorney? I also have a document that is titled Jefferson County Affidavit of Indigence. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And on page 2 of this document, there is a There's a signature above the line that is titled defendant signature. Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Oakland, before you signed these documents, signed and initialed these documents, did you read the documents?
Yes, sir.
And did you have someone to help you to go over these documents? And did you understand everything in these documents? And is everything in these documents true and correct
Yes, sir.
to the best of your knowledge?
That's the man.
Okay. Now, Mr. Oakland, I read your answers. Based on the answers, I don't think you meet the eligibility requirements for an appointment of a court-appointed attorney. And so therefore, at this point, you have two other options regarding your right to have an attorney. You can either have your case reset to hire your attorney, or if you decide to represent yourself, you may represent yourself. Do you understand that? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now, I'm gonna keep this here. Do you know what you want to do?
I'm gonna try to get a lawyer.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
let him. He already has. No, I'm just saying he already had one with that up down. If you need to pass through that and put it up here.
Oh, the thing.
Yeah,
No, it's pretty.
okay. Your case is gonna be reset. You're gonna stand in front of the coordinator, get your case reset. Once your case is reset, you're free to go and you have a blessed day. Yeah, this is his second. Yeah,
Your Honor, state's ready to approach on hallway.
Joshua Holloway. Okay, Mr. Hewley.
Your Honor, the state has made contact with the complaining witness in this case and requests some time for the complaining witness to attend and complete the options class.
Okay. So, Mr. Holloway, give us how much time is that gonna take?
The class is once a month, Your Honor. We just had one a bit earlier this month, so I think just kind of next month would be best.
Okay, give us a standard reset. Okay, this case we will reset to April 2nd, 2025. Mr. Holloway, you're gonna get your reset from our coordinator. Once you get your reset, you're free to go and you have a blessed day. Mr. Boudreaux, are you ready on your case?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Francisco Antonio Parasito Barragan. Mr. Barragan, is that your full name? How are you doing, Mr. Barragan? I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. And you represented your case by your attorney, Don Boudreaux. Attorney Boudreaux, how are you doing?
Just fine, sir.
That's good. State is represented in this case by Attorney Shane Hilton. Attorney Hilton, how are you doing?
I'm good, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay. Now, Mr. Boudreaux, what is your announcement?
Your Honor, with your permission, the state and I have worked out an agreement, whether the fine would be waived, but there would be a large amount of restitution to be paid. And he is supposed to be able to get a job within the next month or so. So with your permission, I'd ask that it be continued for a while to make sure that he's able to get a job and
Okay.
get things taken. So
we're gonna give him a standard reset?
Sir?
We're gonna give him a standard reset.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is that correct, State?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so we're gonna reset this case to April 2nd, 2025. Mr. Baran of Presidio. Is that Preciado?
Yeah.
Preciado Baran, your case is going to be reset till April 2nd, 2025. So that I guess you can get your affairs in order according to your attorney, so that you can get a job, make income, so that you can pay back the restitution that is owed in this case. So, Mr. Baran, you're gonna get your reset from our coordinator. Once you get your reset, you're free to go. Now, Mr. Baran, how old are you? 19? Okay. You graduated from high school? Okay. Okay. So your case is going to be reset to give you an opportunity to get the job.
Yes.
Now, do you have any prospects, job prospects available? Have you been looking?
Yeah, in industry. I think in 2 weeks, my brother said that he would get me in industry again.
Okay. So you worked in the industry in the past?
Yeah, I worked for 7 months, but then they laid me off, and then I haven't had like a chance to find one.
Okay, so you think you may be able to get back on in 2 weeks? Okay.
Then I did my income tax, so that could.
Okay, that'll help too.
Yeah, that will help too. So.
Okay.
That's until April to this. I got a good amount of time.
Okay. All right, so your case is gonna be reset April 2nd, 2025. You're gonna get your reset from our coordinator. Once you get your reset, you'll be free to go. Stay in contact with your attorney and your boss. And Mr. Boudreaux, you're free to go as well. And you have a blessed day. And Mr.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Preciado Baran, you have a blessed day. as well.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Who's the this?
He didn't.
Court is back in session. In cause number 24 CCCR 1426 case, the South State of Texas versus Sidney Monet Edwards. Ms. Edwards, again, how are you doing? That's good. Ms. Edwards, you represented by attorney Theodore Jones. And Mr. Jones, what is your announcement in Ms. Edwards' case?
Well, last time we were here, we were having trouble opening up the discovery, she was in the office yesterday. We did open up the discovery. reviewed it. Okay, however, there's a videotape out there that we haven't been able to open up. I would ask that either defer to the court, either do one thing. I've got a plea letter to Mr. that's sent to me. He probably, have you already sent it?
What the offer?
Yeah, he sent an offer to me, and I want to review it in the office. Because everybody can sit here and tell you they understand what the fees are, and they're gonna pay the fees, but I want sit in the office and explain to the situation and then to that. So I would ask that we set it for plea within 30 days.
Plea?
And if we have
Okay.
to, we set it, change it back to trial. But it's time.
Okay, give us a reset date for a plea in Ms. Edwards' case. Sydney Monet Edwards, page 3. March 24th. Okay, this case will be reset for plea on March 24th, 2025. Ms. Edwards, you're gonna get your reset from our coordinator. Once you get your reset, you're free to go. And Mr. Johns, you're gonna get your reset as well. You'll be free to go. Mr. Edwards, you have a blessed day. Mr. Johns, you have a blessed day as well. You're welcome. We heard from James Paget. Would have been recess. Okay, this is cause number 24 CCCR 1344. Case is style of state of Texas versus Jesus Castro Jr. Mr. Castro, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How are you doing, Mr. Castro?
I'm doing good.
I'm good, fine, thanks for asking. Now, Mr. Castro, you are represented in your case by your attorney, Attorney Langston Adams. Attorney Adams, how are you doing?
I'm here, Judge.
Okay, now, Mr. Adams, what is your announcement in Mr. Castro's case?
Hey, in Mr. Castro's case, I have my file in front of me. I've printed all of his discovery, and I got, I believe I also got a plea offer from Haley. She emailed me an offer. I just need Mr. Castro to come to my office, not this week, but next week, Wednesday, and then I'll be prepared to make an announcement if he can just come in Wednesday at 4 o'clock. But I got everything else I need, offer and discovery.
Okay, give us a reset date.
April 2nd.
Okay, this case will be reset to April 2nd of 2025. Mr. Castro, you're gonna get your reset from our court coordinator. Once you get your reset, you'll be free to go stay in contact with your attorney and your bondsman. And you have a blessed day. Please stand in front of the court coordinator. And Mr. Adams, your reset will be sent to you. You're free to go and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay. Jefferson County Court at Law number 2 is back in session. The court is in session. And calls number M333-864. Case is filed of State of Texas versus Freddy Bravo Lores. Mr. Lores is present in court. Mr. Lores speaks some English, but he speaks Spanish. And we have our Spanish interpreter, Ms. Jennifer Raji. Mr. Raji, will you please raise your right hand? Mr. Raji, do you swear to interpret Spanish to English and English to Spanish to help you out?
Yes, Judge.
Okay, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Raji?
Judge, thanks for
That's good.
How are you?
I'm good, fine, thanks for asking. Ms. Raji, ask Mr. Freddy Bravo Lores if his full name is Freddy Bravo Lores.
Su nombre completo es Freddy Bravo Lores?
Sí.
Yes.
Okay. Ask him to raise his right hand.
Levanta la mano derecha.
Okay. Mr. Freddy Bravo Lores, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Sí.
Yes.
Okay, you may put your hand up. Ask Mr. Freddy Bravo Lores how he's doing.
¿Cómo estás?
Bien, go ahead.
Good, thank you,
Good.
Judge.
Okay. Good. Now, Mr. Lores, Bravo Lores is represented in this case. Let's see.
Actually,
Yes,
David Preston.
yeah, attorney of record is attorney David A. Preston.
Yes, I'm William Rowlett. I'm work with Mr. President.
William Rowlett, how you spell your last name?
WLETT.
Rowlett. Okay, now, ask Mr. Bravo Lores. Well, you can tell him that, well, he's represented in his case by attorney David Preston. Mr. Preston is not here. Ask him if it's all right for attorney William Rowlett to stand in for Mr. Preston.
Está preguntando, les dice su abogado es señor Preston, pero no está hoy. Aquí está el otro abogado que trabaja con él, señor Role, y si está bien que él siga adelante con su caso.
Sí.
Yes.
Okay. Now, and Mr. Rowlett, how are you doing?
I'm doing very well, Judge. Thank you.
That's good. Now, Mr. Rowlett, I have before me on my computer and a document that is titled information. This information was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office.
Sé que estamos en este caso. El caso que tienes se reveló el abogado del Estado.
In this information, it alleges that you, Freddy Bravo Lores,
Dice en la información, dice que usted
on or about November 19th of 2022,
en diciembre de 2022,
while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class B misdemeanor offense of theft.
existe el caso que tiene de usted.
Do you understand what you've been charged with?
Y sí, el cargo que tiene, sí entiendes. Lo que es.
You understand?
Yes.
And to this charge, how do you plead guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
Okay. Are you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily?
Y usted está diciendo no contesto solamente así sin. Yes, Judge.
And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges?
De que estás diciendo que no contesto, no quiero que no conozca. Yes, Judge.
Okay. I have another document before me. This document is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments and is labeled State's Exhibit Number 1. Do you recognize this document?
¿Recuerdas ese documento que te expliqué?
Sí.
Yes.
On page two of the same document, there's set of initials FBL. Did you place your initials on this document?
Yes.
On the next page of the same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled defendant. Is this your signature?
¿Ese es su firma ahí?
Sí.
Yes.
And on the next document that's titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal, do you recognize this document?
¿Recuerdas ese documento? Que no puedes hacer.
Sí.
Yes.
Is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
¿Y esa es su firma ahí?
Sí.
Yes.
At the top of this document, there's one box checked. The box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that?
Sí, ¿entiendes eso?
Sí.
Yes.
Where's it just go?
Right here, Your Honor.
I also have another document that is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document?
Yes.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
¿Y esa es su firma ahí?
Sí.
Yes, Judge.
I also have another document that is titled English for all foreign nationals except those from mandatory notification countries. Do you recognize this document?
¿Recuerdas ese documento?
Sí.
Yes.
Is this your signature on the line that's titled signature?
¿Y esa es su firma ahí? Yes, Judge.
Going back to State's Exhibit number 1 on the tablet, there's a paragraph at the bottom of this document that is titled Citizenship.
Your Honor.
And this paragraph states that if you're not a U.S. citizen, on a plea of guilty or nolo contendere, it may result in your deportation, denial of admission to the country, or, well, exclusion from the country, or denial of naturalization under federal law.
Dice que país puede deportar o de
Do you understand that?
que si entiendes eso.
Que si me deportan, no van a
Sí. Yes, Judge.
And do you still want to go forward with your plea bargain?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. Can you have him to initial below that paragraph?
De sus necesidades ahí donde dice eso, ¿ok?
Showing that he understands it.
Sí.
Can you initial below here?
Diciendo que eres culpable en ese caso.
Can you initial?
Sí, como no conduzco, decir culpable no es así, sino que no quieres decir que eres culpable no culpable. Es lo mismo. Y ahí vas a firmar sus iniciales diciendo que entienden que se pueden hacer esas cosas.
¿Pero quién puede ser la inmigración?
Sí, sí los quieren, pero ya tienes todo ahí con ahí. Aquí, abajo.
Pero,
Así, pero si no, si usted no se pone los iniciales, no va a terminar el caso.
Okay.
Bueno, Your Honor.
Okay.
Esto sería el caso de
Sí, es lo mismo. Sí.
Okay.
en este caso, la policía de
Ujú. No. No.
Okay, now, Mr. Bravo Lores. Before you sign and initial all of these documents, did Ms. Araji go over all of these documents with you in Spanish?
Dice que antes de firmar todos esos documentos, sí te explico lo que estabas firmando en español. Yes.
And did you understand everything that she went over?
Y entendí de todo antes de firmar.
Sí.
Yes, Judge.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Y todo en esos documentos antes de firmar es de verdad. Yes, Judge.
State, like,
Jennifer states one.
No objection.
no objection, states exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Rowlett, you have advised that counsel, Mr. Bravo Lores, is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, there isn't, Your Honor.
Mr. Bravo Lores, Attorney Rowlett has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Algo que te siempre en su servicio. Está preguntándole si el silencio que te dio la abogada está subversivo. Yes.
And your attorney of record, Attorney David Breston, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Está preguntando tú puedes del abogado que tienes que está suficiente sus servicios también. Yes, Judge.
Okay. Mr. Freddy Bravo Lores, I will accept your plea of no contest.
Dice, no contesto, no dice.
I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial.
Dice, va a ser cuidado con. Sí.
I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
What is the agreement?
The agreement in this case is to 1 day jail with credit for 1 day and court costs in this case.
Mr. Bravo Lores, the state is offering that you serve 1 day in the Jefferson County Jail, but you would not have to serve any more time in the Jefferson County Jail because you've already served 1 day in the Jefferson County Jail.
Dice que está pidiendo la estado cumpliendo cárcel, pero no se tiene que estar en cárcel. Con crédito de un que lo que da. And it does come out.
Okay. Mr. Lores, the court cost in this case is $387. You have 1 day credit, you'll be which is $100 will be credited toward the $387.
Dice que tienes un día de cárcel y ese te da $100 de crédito y menos de los 100 va a ser 287 lo que debas de la.
Okay, that leaves a balance of $287.
287 que debes a la.
Will you be able to pay the $287 today?
Está preguntando si usted se lo puede pagar este dinero hoy. He said that he would need a week.
Okay. I think we can give him a time if he can pay it.
Okay. He said that he only has the 200 right now. He's still missing the
The
87.
$87.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, so we could give him, because it has to, when it's paid in full. They don't do partial payments, right?
Oh, I'm not sure.
I
That's
think-
my understanding.
Yeah, they would have to pay it in full, so we'll, what's the, let me see, a week from the day, the 26th. Yeah, we can give him till, the 26th of, February.
Dice que se lo pueden darle hasta el 26 de febrero, si está bien.
That's 1 week.
Sí.
Can he pay that online? Do you
I
know?
don't,
To my knowledge, no, he would have
I
to.
think you have to come in person
Yeah.
to pay it.
yeah,
At the sheriff's office.
no,
Oh,
it's
no, is it
downstairs.
No,
downstairs
it's
now?
down.
It's
Yeah.
downstairs.
Okay.
It used to be at the sheriff's office. What, he's out of town?
Yes. Tell you what, we're not on the record or anything. I'll make sure the remaining 87.
Now, Mr. Bravo Lores, do you understand the state's offer?
Hasta que no sí, es lo que está viendo el Estado. Que un bono de crédito. Yes, Judge.
Do you think that it's fair and just?
Sí, es que es justo.
And do you accept it?
Y si lo quieres aceptarlo. Yes, Judge.
Okay, all right. So, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you entered into with the state. You're gonna stand in front of the court coordinator, follow the directions of the bailiff. Once you finish following the directions of the bailiff, you can go down to the clerk's office, make the payment and bring the receipt back to the court.
Okay. Dice que ya se va a un caso ya va a ser caso ya se está reconociendo para hacer todos los papeles. Luego va a seguir trabajo porque como el abogado dijo que le iba a pagar los 87 y a lo mejor tiene que pagarlo a él porque no quiere que tienes que venir para atrás porque dice que usted no vive aquí. Que entonces él va a pagar lo que sobra y lo entre ustedes hacerlo. Pero lo van a terminar todo hoy y cuando van a pagar ahí abajo, usted tiene que traer el recibo aquí arriba. Ok, antes de que vayas.
Okay,
Okay.
just stand in front of you. Once you finish, you have a blessed day.
Downstairs? Sure.
Okay.
And you have a blessed day. And you have a blessed day. Yes. Yes, your case will be reset. Your attorney had an emergency. We didn't have no bond forfeitures, is that correct?
No, sir.
No, I believe we did.
Okay. So this will conclude the calling of the court's announcement docket. On today's date, February 19, 2025, County Court at Law Number 2, Jefferson County, Texas. Judge Terrence L. Holmes presiding. Everyone, please have a blessed day. Prosecutors, you are excused.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.